In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the Treeset class. The Treeset class differs from the HashSet class in that the Treeset class, as you add elements to the collection, will store them in their natural sorted order. For example, alphabetical if it's strings, A, B, C, D, or in ascending numerical order, 1, 2, 3, if you're dealing with numbers. We'll work with strings in this lesson and then deal with numbers in the exercises. So let's start a new program. We're going to call this one alpha.java. And the first thing we need to do is import the Treeset class. So we do that first. Then we'll set up our program. And again, we're going to be working with names, just because that's an easy example to work with. So we'll create an object, a Treeset object. We'll call it names again. And call the constructor. Now we'll begin adding some names, and we're going to add them in a fairly random order. And I'll add several names so that we can see how the Treeset is alphabetized as we add. But we won't get too many so that we can keep track. A couple more, and that'll be good enough. And let's stop right there. First thing we'll do is we'll look at the size of the collection by using the size method. Just like so. Let's go ahead and compile at this point and run to make sure we're on track and don't have any mistakes. And then let's run it. And so we have 6 names, which is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's see how the names are stored. So we'll write a for each loop, just like we did in the last lesson. And we'll print them one to a line. Let's compile and run that. And notice that the names are in alphabetical order, even though we entered them in a fairly random way. We also have ability to clear out the Treeset and start over and remove items at will, as well as check to see if items are in the collection using contains. But what I want to focus on are a couple of other things that we can do that have to do with the Treeset being ordered. So let's go back to our code. We're going to look at 4 different methods. The first one is called lower, and it's going to retrieve the first element that is lower in order than the one given. So let's see how that works. So we'll pick Jennifer. I just barely got that on the screen. So let's save the file. Let's go back and clear the screen, then compile it again. And then run it. I have after, I should have had before. I'll fix it for the next printout. So lower gave us the name right before Jennifer. Now since we're picking on Jennifer, let's pick the name right after Jennifer, which is what it looked like I was trying to do the first time. And of course, we could use a variable here instead of a literal, trying to keep things simple in my program. Compile again, and then run. And so then we see that the name right after Jennifer is Mike. So lower gives you the name right before a given name, and after gives you an element right after a given element. We can also see the first and last elements in a Treeset by using methods called first and last. So let's look at those next. So first we'll return the first element, and last we'll return the last element. So let's save. Go back to our command prompt. Let's clear the screen, and then we'll compile again, and then run it. So our first element is Brian, and the last element is Terrell. So the Treeset gives us a way to create a collection and add elements into the collection and keep them in a sorted order. And with that, we're ready to leave this Treeset class for now. We'll come back to it in the exercises. And we're going to look at a third class for storing sequential collections called the priority queue class.